Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Maria. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about your very unique experience and your perspective and representing the younger generation, the millennials. You're 18, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And yeah, I really appreciate you joining today to share some of the inspiration that has led you to a path of self-discovery, of self-transformation, of taking the responsibility for your life and all of your struggles and your problems, and transforming them into learning, wisdom, knowledge, and ultimately creation of your amazing life that you are every day, every moment to moment creating. Um, yeah. So, who are some of the people that have inspired you, or what kind of people inspire you? Why do they inspire you to self-investigate and have a life of self-transformation?
Um, so before, well, I always had hobbies and things that kept me going and things that I liked. But finding being in a difficult situation and finding people that have been through a lot of things in their lives, like until their 40s, and their whole lives has been something really difficult. Seeing these people that, well, they are mostly are known, for example, like writers or I don't know, like TV, um, how do you say it?
Presenters.
Yeah. So some of them are Oprah Winfrey and Louise Hay. Louise Hay is a writer. I think she's done more stuff, but mostly she writes books. Tiffany borrowed me the You Can Heal Your Life book, which is amazing. I think it goes deep into everything that makes you and mm, how to heal your life. I mean, that's the name of the book. Listening to Oprah Winfrey, knowing about her life and where is she now, and same with Louise Hay. All the talks, all the power in her words, and you can do that and almost I don't know, she made me believe I could do whatever with my life. Um, so Oprah, videos, podcasts. There's podcast in Spotify, I think, also from Louise Hay. Um, and I like to listen to them when I'm feeling down or when I'm feeling great. It's just nice to just positive vibe, and there's videos where you feel like you want to go outside and change the world, and it really has a big influence for me. And also apart from people, I love. Um, I have a list of things that they keep me, apart from people, keep me wanting to more of life. I love playing the piano. I love playing instruments, and I love when people say that I play great the piano. So I like playing the piano and listening to music, enjoying with a big quality headphones, listening to any song, and just I don't know. I'm a very emotional, well, in a good way. I feel um I love big the power of the emotions, and also concerts. I think concerts as well. They have a big power in me, all the people in the crowd and the lights. Um, yeah, I think yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's it.
I can be like, it depends on the band, of course, but like one of my favorite bands, do you know The Cure?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so they're like my favorite concerts of all time. They're one of my favorite bands ever, but the concerts they do, have you ever been to a concert of The Cure? No, have you been to a concert
No, I didn't hear
of The
because the
Cure?
connection was.
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's
No, I
why.
didn't.
Okay, no, so they play like almost every concert. I don't know if it is a standard thing every concert, but every concert I've seen, they play for 3 hours. And it's like every time I go, I'm like, really, are they really going to play for 3 hours again this time? Because it's that energy that's created in the stadium with the music, with the history of all of their songs and all these things. And it's a very emotional music. It's like, just gets into the core of my being. And it's like lots of dancing and so much joy. I'm like, for 2 or 3 days, I'm floating in the air and I'm like riding a wave. So I totally understand what you're talking about with the concerts. Like, it's something I forget until I go to another concert. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, like good speakers. And like you said, good headphones are so key to
Yeah.
people who it sounds like we're both feelers, like learn more through like the feeling and the emotion and stuff like that. So it's like super important that the speakers are good. Not everybody's like that. Um, so, some people might not even care and that might not do nothing for them. But I think everybody can relate to having a certain person who inspires them, whether it be a sports player or a lot of times athletes are super inspiring, right? Because they accomplish these amazing physical tasks that, I mean, I am not very good at sports in general, so I'm not, that inspired by athletes. And I don't challenge myself physically in that way so much. But I totally relate to motivational speakers and inspirational speakers like Oprah is 100% that kind of person, right? She at a certain okay, got cut off again. I don't know where I got cut off, but
Sports.
okay, so I don't relate to the sports people so much, but I can relate to the inspirational speakers and like Oprah, and she's 100% that, right? And she came from a very difficult history, and just like you said, look at her now, right? Looking at people, usually people who I think people who have come from difficult situations and places and paths, and then they transform themselves, right? They take the opportunities that they're given, and then they transform themselves. They don't continue that path, right? Because a lot of people choose to continue that path. And maybe they didn't have the inspiration or they didn't have the opportunity or something like that to then, make the shift or the change. Maybe they didn't have the influences or just the will. Maybe for that person, those people, that path is just, what they need for learning is to continue that cycle. I don't know. But I definitely relate to that because I also came from a very difficult beginning, right? And I was so tired of suffering. And so, yeah, Oprah just kind of slapped me upside the head with a lot of goodness and showed, the world, hey, look what's possible by bringing all these other people that had these, difficult stories and showing us, hey, look, it's possible again and again and again and again. But it's up to us, right? It's up to us. I
Mhm.
also have the Louise Hay inspiration. Um, what exactly did you take? You said that Tiffany got the book for you, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of practical uh inspiration in there too, right? Like how to start to change your patterns and things like that. What can you tell us about that? About the book and
Well, it has like a lot of like parts, and she explains to you about things. like it is very well divided, like every I don't know the word in English,
Section.
every section. And you also have exercises, and also tells her experience as a therapist, what clients, there's an exercise I really like. It's about the mirror, like saying to yourself, I am enough. I accept who you are in the mirror. It's an exercise that you can do. And she was, and I was like, reading that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like. And then she was talking that she was saying in the book that she had someone in the, like, um, some client that started to cry to the mirror, and also you can see that her experience as a therapist and other people that are like me that didn't feel like saying anything in front of the mirror, and it's really clear, and it's a very colorful book, and you can, like, of course it's a book that it is recommended to read it all and then read by parts. Maybe you take a year, or Tiffany said that she needed like 3 years or four to really notice a change. But I think it is life changing. I think this book is so important. I recommend it to everyone. And, and yeah, um, I think it was easy for me. I mean, it doesn't require a lot of, it's not a book that you see it like a meh, because if it's they get colors and it makes it easier. So yeah.
Yeah, and each person has their own path, right? So it may take one person a certain amount of time and another person
Yes.
really, fast gets benefit. In that book, there's what I really like, and I always go back to, is the chart that links the body parts and organs, all of the aspects of the body and physical ailments that uh, that we can have problems with, right? Like lists everything in there alphabetically, and then lists the negative thought pattern that is associated, because she did she did a study, and like checked with all of her clients, person after person after person, and symptom after symptom, and disease after disease, and connected the similar thought patterns that each person had who had similar ailments. And then, so there's the column of all the physical problems, and then there's the column of all the negative thought patterns, and then there's the column of all of the new thoughts to put there so that you can actually transform those thoughts and into new, healthy, positively focused, and empowering thoughts, right? That then many times turns around the physical problem, because once you start changing your mind and you see the mind body connection, then you can start changing some of the physical problems. And I've had a lot of physical issues that I've, resolved myself because I've used that type of guidance. Have you had any kind of physical thing that you've noticed that you've changed, like headaches or
Yeah, because I think a lot. I had a lot of
migraines?
migraines, a lot of headache. Um, I had some months in my life where I would think a lot, like have an obsessive, like I was really, really bad, and all my day was obsessing, having an obsessive compulsive disorder. So after a few days, I would have like 1 week of a lot of thinking, and then after a week of a lot of headache. And yeah, actually also now, I noticed really fast. I don't watch the news. It's something that really helps now. Not watching the news with the coronavirus. Um, I really feel like a lot of pressure in my chest when I see the news. All
Mm.
the deaths every day. A lot of pressure here. And at the beginning, I was like, well, it's some, normal pain. But then I noticed that if I spend like a day, whole day in the balcony with the sun, drawing, I don't have any chest pain, you know? Um, and yeah, and also for the exams, there was a time where I got really, really, really stressed, and I did like 6 exams in a week. And I was really, or even with the politics and the demonstrations, you get very tense and very angry, and you get this pressure here that comes up to your head, and then you have a lot of headache during the days. So yeah, I definitely felt a lot of physical um, pains because of mental things. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and so like would you say then that Louise Hay and her teaching has inspired you to become more aware of and to investigate further like the mind body connection? And
Hmm.
then, like just that, just reading a book and listening a bit to somebody else's experience can take you so far into your own experience of yourself, learning all about like who you are, what this body is, because we don't really learn about those things in school and in everyday life, right? It's like these little hidden treasures that I don't know why they're hidden. Like, shouldn't this be in school? Wouldn't it be great? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you for sharing some of your inspiration with us. And it's been lovely talking to you. I hope that people will be inspired by you and young people, especially, to explore a little bit more of who we are and why we are what we are, like what's going on here. We have this great opportunity. We're all locked in our houses for we don't know what period of time. And I really see it as an opportunity to go within and see how do I relate to my world, what can I do better? How can I be better? How can I heal myself? How can I contribute something healthier to this planet? Because we're the ones that are doing this, right?
Mm.
And yeah, I feel very confident with your generation as the future, because there's a lot of light and a lot of hope and a lot of strength and resilience. And I don't see, like, I'm not worried. I've been living my life for a very long time to try to offer something, some guidance and whatnot to your generation. And I've always had full faith, that it's all going to be okay. So thank you for sharing.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, see you next
You.
time. Hmm? Bye, everybody.
Bye.